going on, Mr. Kilroy?
Mr. Saunders, I gotta get me one of those.
show me what you're doing.
I have roughed this. I'm ready to subject myself to ridicule. I think so. I think I'm ready.
Okay, awesome.
But we're gonna let the boss man figure it out first. It's hard work to do right, like actual physical labor. Yeah. And the smaller you try to do it, the harder it is. You're trying to focus on one little spot. It takes much more muscle control to focus on one little spot like this than it does to just scrape. So it's, yeah, like anything, you want to do it right, it takes a lot of work.
Time out, folks. Are you wondering what scraping is? Click here. We did a 4-minute, very quick video explaining and walking through it.
What's up?
What's going on, bud?
Over here learning how to scrape.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What you got? Oh, you got the fluid, the highlighter fluid on, huh?
Yeah, we got the yellow on there.
You're getting, it looks a lot better than it did 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm slowly progressing. I think this is maybe the 4th or 5th pass down it. Go to one side and then I'll go over there to that side until he feels like I'm good enough to start bluing it in. We haven't blued it yet. We're just practicing the flat strokes.
It's a lot. You know what's funny? I'm realizing how much how hard it is to keep it flat. Like,
oh yeah. I think for me, I'm trying to learn how I'm comfortable body position holding this thing. You know, you've got it in front of you, you've got it back here.
Yeah.
So far, I'm trying to get used to how I like it the way it feels.
Well, I think everybody should just come into work because I've almost passed out whenever.
Mr. King himself, great teacher so far. We've really been learning a lot, even just the first morning.
Thank you.
And so we've got one of the students that ruins the bell curve for the rest of us here, where he's got it hinging. It's hinging just how Richard wants us to be doing it. So thanks for ruling that for the rest of us, Lance.
You're welcome, and I'm sorry.
Lance is fine.
Yeah.
Remember how it looked before? One scrape.
One scrape. So he had some high spots, and it was funny because Richard knew exactly what to tell him, which was to double up in a certain spot and how to do it. That's what was amazing. It is, God, and then it's beautiful to see how it transfers that over from the plate. This is the plate that Keith Rucker just had lapped in, which is really cool too.
Over here, guys.
And so Keith's doing what I'm doing, which is the beginner level where you're just hitting spots.
Yeah, I'm just
aim
hitting
at.
these spots, trying to knock off, pretending like this is the blue marks, but they're black marks.
While we're getting ready here, I want to say thanks to Keith for introducing us to this and having us do a shot. There's a card here to his channel, but Keith does some awesome work. So this is also cool because we're here in Keith's shop. If you guys have followed his channel, he's been doing some great videos on the restoration of this lathe, and he's just got an awesome shop, period. Complete iron addict. This huge Monarch. I'm not going to go on too much because you should just go check out his channel, but it's cool to see all the stuff that guys brought in. He's got the other half over here with the woodworking. A-bomb's topping off the sweet tea.
Yeah, unsweet tea.
Unsweet. Okay, unsweet. So, no need to dwell on it, but I had a really crummy night. We'll talk about this like a chip rig or something, but I was on I-75 southbound in Atlanta, and I was going 60 miles an hour, and the right lane was going like 2 miles an hour, and a guy decided he wanted into my lane, never looked, never saw me, cut left. I don't remember the collision, hit my vehicle. I rolled, I think just once, skidded on the roof of the car for some ways, and a miracle that it was not worse. I think the camera's tilted, sorry. So I decided what to do. It was a long process with the police and Hertz, the rental car and all that, but I decided I'll at least come down here and say hi to everybody. I thought maybe I'll fly back home. I'm not trying to overdo it. My neck is really sore, but I'm okay. And yeah, we'll talk about it. There's some good takeaways from this, but very grateful to be alive and to be relatively fine. But I am taking it easy, and scraping is not the thing you want to do the day after you were in a major car accident. Anyways, thank you again to Keith for letting us see the shop. It is beautiful down here. It's gorgeous weather. Really cool. Let's watch Keith.
I'm just trying to hit. Is it all right to hit it more than once, or am I supposed to just hit it
No,
once?
you should just do it once, and you shouldn't put your hand on the part.
So I'm done with my first roughing pass. I've gone once each way. I'm just going to kind of clean it off with some Windex. And then we've been using this yellow highlighter stuff. Kind of just helps you see where you've scraped, or it helps with the, can help with glare. You kind of roll it on. And then you wipe it off. When you wipe it off, it may not come out on camera, but you can see it's kind of got this mustardy hue to it, and it really does make a difference. You can kind of see it. How are we doing, Tom?
We're still high on the ends. You can tell because it's still hinging too far out.
So anything in the middle here, I do rub them out.
Yep.
And then we scrape all the way around. You maybe scrape this twice. Hit this first straight, then another time, and yellow up where you just were, and then do everything once. You know this is higher than that. Scrape it twice. Plus walking.
Richard, for folks that want to learn more about your classes or what you offer, go to handscraping.com.
Yep. Or a Practical Machinist website.
Practical Machinist website. Is there a scraping forum there?
Reconditioning forum.
Reconditioning, got it. So scraping goes hand in hand with reconditioning machines.
Oh yeah. I used to call it rebuilding and retrofitting. I used to say reconditioning was more of a clean it up and paint it more than rebuild. The way they do it on their forum, and that's what we do. But it's a good forum. It's got a lot of discussion, a lot of professionals.
Yeah. Okay, so a really important question. I want an exact answer. How many machines have you scraped?
No idea.
400? 4,000?
Well, I used to say thousands, but then some guy came up with the math.
Of what it would mean if you actually had?
Yeah, if I did, you know what, probably 2 a week.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Transports, or if we had a lot of big machines, would take weeks.
Yeah, right.
So it's hard to say how many.
Sure. But you travel the world, country and the world, doing this, huh? Or teaching people or fixing machines?
Pretty much teaching all around the world, but I've fixed machines in Canada and Mexico, mostly in the United States, all over.
This is so cool. So I just took mine off the bluing plate. I've done this a couple times now, and you can see, if I get rid of the glare, where my high spots are. So the more blue across it, the better a job I think I'm doing of starting to get this thing flattened out. Now even this, I couldn't get 1/1000th and a half feeler gauge under it anywhere. So that kind of tells me I'm doing the right thing. So now what I'll do, I made a note on here about which way. So I need to come this way, with it this time, because last time we went the other angle with it and start. You don't want to get rid of the blue, you just kind of cut marks down through half of it. What's yours look like, Patrick?
Oh,
So
a work in progress.
got some high spots.
High spots on the ends.
What about you, Kilroy? Okay, yeah, so you're starting to get it.
It's pretty filled in here. I got a low spot right through here. A little low spot right there. Just gonna keep going at it. Yeah, keep going at it. Problem with low spots is you got to bring all the high spots down,
Down
to
to
get
it.
to
No,
them.
you can actually, you can do filler material, I think. You get a welder, you can build that
If I
surface
pull the
back
MIG
up.
out, I think I'm gonna get thrown out of here.
How are you doing, Keith?
It's coming along, man. I'm just got some blue high spots, and I've already kind of re-scraped all my high spots down to about right in here. I still got a couple in here that I'm
Yeah.
working on. So,
Toward-
yeah, so I had a couple of high marks. These are my pivot points.
Oh, that's where it's hinging.
Where it was hinging.
Yeah,
And
right.
So basically, I just kind of marked it on there where I know.
Yeah.
And he told me to scrape those areas twice.
Okay.
So basically,
Oh,
I did
interesting.
I did those first, and then I'm going back and hitting all the.
Double duty on
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
Cool.
Those are the,
Is there going to be an SNS tomorrow?
oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, we got it in the pipe. It's
You got it in
ready
the
to
pipe?
go, man.
She's ready to roll?
Worked on that Monday.
Lance is the good student. How you doing? So look at his technique. So you made your own.
Yeah.
You got it. So he's pushing it in there. You really do use your body though.
Yeah.
Trying to train myself to use my body instead of the arm. I'm trying to train myself to keep it here and just use your body to push it
Go
in there.
through. Yeah, so he's not getting rid of the blue. You're just trying to kind of cut it in half and create these discrete marks. You don't really want them overlapping, I guess.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing is the symmetry between each
cut and then making every cut the same.
Just about the end of the first day. I'm probably going a little slower than everybody else, but take a look. We've been adding grids to help you break it down. Much easier to just sort of look at bite-sized chunks. So because I kind of misspoke earlier, or I'm learning, which is especially because I'm roughing, I do want to get rid of most of this blue. So I got pretty good blue contact between kind of here and really over to here, a little bit there. So I need to get rid of the blue. That's high spots. So I got low spots kind of here and here. But this is getting, and Richard said, you know, okay, you're doing okay. So it's actually honestly starting to get enjoyable. I'm really starting to figure this out, I think. Although scraping something flat is easy. It's scraping it flat and then parallel to another face that's actually hard. Welcome to day 2. So same process. Now what we do though, starting to get better dispersion of points along here. But then what I'm trying to do, I blue it and then I rub the my blued plate on a bare part of the surface plate. And what that does, it might be hard to see it the camera, but it actually shines up. It creates it rubs off the blue on the very highest points of the highest spot. So like you can see this little point here, it's blue, but in the middle it's actually polished the blue off. So I'm marking those with a Sharpie, and I'm gonna try to bump scrape or just hit those little high spots to get better points along this thing. Holy cow, we just started using the power scrapers. I'll show Keith doing it right now. I really like this. This is a lot more enjoyable. I don't know whether it's because my back's so sore from the car accident or it just comes a little bit more naturally to me. I'll put some lines on here. Really helps me follow you do want to keep it at a 45. So it's the same blade, and you move real quick. There's a rheostat that we've got set pretty low while we're learning. There you can kind of see it. You're making, and I should be pushing down a little bit more to get deeper scrapes. But you move quick across this thing, and you sweep across it, and it literally is power scraping. Ooh. We'll put a card to Adam's video here.
I appreciate that. Doing it finally. It's looking,
yeah, look at that, man.
That one, this looks more points of contact.
Yeah, that looks really good. You know, I put that 1 inch square over, and you realize that's actually getting to like 20 points.
I think so. I'm about to check it. I'm gonna go over there, polish it, get the high spots on it.
So I did my first attempt at flaking, different tool, and you won't believe how you do it. It is so strange to me, but it works. So I can get rid of the glare. See, that's literally the first time I've ever flaked in my life. We'll explain maybe at the end of this video when it's quiet what scraping and flaking are, but really cool. Or you can try it, apparently.
I think I would practice. Let's practice first. You want to have it? Did you lean backwards? Practicing leaning back.
Okay.
You want to practice the lean back, and then after the next one, you move your feet like this.
Okay.
Don't hit it. Practice leaning backward. Move your feet over like that. And then the next one, this lines up with that side. And then you lean back. And then you got to practice leaning back and hitting it at the same time.
All right, good way through part of day 2. A-bomb's been flaking, right?
Yeah, I've been doing some practicing on some flaking.
It was looking real good earlier. You switched blades, I know.
Just help.
Yeah, there you go.
You can get a couple different angles. You can see that I used 2 different blades, and looking that way, I got a little bit better results out of it.
It is beautiful, though. I'm excited because really a lot of this came down to, for this class, was understanding machines and why things are scraped. And I don't think we're gonna like finish it by any means, but as part of the class, we're gonna start tearing down and working on Keith Rucker's surface grinder. How awesome is that? So we're taking the chuck off, they are taking the chuck off right now, and we're gonna start looking into the surfaces and what's scraped and ground and why and what to do, and this is cool to me. This is awesome. One of the guys started working on his Camelback, which is really cool to see him dial that in. And I thought, well, let's look at what the parallel looks like. And isn't that amazing? We ground that thing so well, and if you look, you can see to some extent, it's not perfect. Isn't that amazing? So if you're wondering about scraping versus grinding, this is the beginning of that story. Isn't that incredible? So again, all I was doing was laying that on this surface plate here that's got the layout fluid and doing and rubbing it around to see where the high spots are. So more to come. Here goes nothing. We're gonna try scraping this guy in. So, sure enough, it really wasn't a great idea to blue it when it was surface ground, because it's so much stiction that you really need to just scrape one layer and then we'll blue it up. All right, we're doing okay. I had a dull blade and I sharpened it. That made all the difference in the world. But you can see, like sometimes around in here, let's see if I can get that angle down. Not so great of a distinguished line, because you want individual scrape marks along individual lines. So I felt like I was getting into a better rhythm down here, where you can see I had a 45-degree angle. But man, let me tell you, you are cooking when you go across this thing. I mean, literally, that's probably how fast I'm going. Probably like that. Because this thing is, you think about it, look how fast that's moving. And you want one movement of the scraper is one tick mark. So you're going, Good morning, folks. Welcome to day 3. I am really liking this class now. This morning we talked a lot about some basics on surface plates, including how you can do a little bit of checking on your own. So stay tuned or click subscribe, because I want to learn more about not only being able to fix your surface plate, but at least knowing where it's on and off. I still think my camera's, I wonder if my gimbal might have gotten screwed up in that car accident. Sorry. And then here's where I'm at on my parallel. So it's pretty cool. If you take a look, I've basically got some loose spots through here, and then I've kind of got this area, around here that's not scraped in. So I got to keep doing work around here, but we're coming along. I just wiped it off, but as you guys saw, what we're trying to do is stay away from this area because that was low. The rest of this sort of was high. So all we do now, we take a stone and we just knock the burrs off. You're not trying to stone down. Again, just keep it smooth. And then we take it over to the plate.
Getting a little better.
Just heard A-ball. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, this is the power scraper.
Awesome. Are you just switching to that?
Yeah, I started it yesterday evening right before we left.
Yeah. I'm no longer a fan of hand scraping after switching to like the fat. Yeah.
You like the Biax, huh?
It honestly kind of came to me naturally, and when you get the lighting right, you can see the pattern you're laying down.
Yeah.
I really like
you
it.
can move some metal faster.
Yeah.
I like it too.
Still crazy that each of those is like 2 to 5 tenths.
Yeah.
Okay, so now with one hand, which is not the way to do this. We put it on our plate on here. Kind of move it around. You want to get the blue on it. See where it hinges. I'm not going to give away all the secrets to Richard's class, but he talks a lot about where it hinges, and that's a really important thing in evaluating the flatness of the part. Ooh. Awesome, look at that. So we're starting to get better blue all along the part. So now that we've got actually much better contact, now we want to go back to focusing on contact points per inch, because you can still see we've got some high spots, excuse me, low. The blue is high, the blue is where it's touching. Blue is touching in there, so maybe work down this a little bit more, and then we'll focus on the specific spots. Check it out. I've been working on my little 4-inch Starrett level, and A-Bomb brought his plate, and when you set this down, it's got suction lifting it up. It's maybe hard to see it, but when you pull up, it's got like a little air pocket. So we're getting her flat.
Yeah, I'd like to blow it up and see how flat it is anyway. Yeah. But if I don't get to it, I mean, I want to definitely work on that.
Got it.
Try to get this scraped in.
Sweet. And that there is looking real good.
Yeah, that's the flat plate that I've been working on there. It's looking pretty good. Just got a couple little low spots that I'm trying to get out of it.
Getting to be a perfectionist here.
He wants it to look good for YouTube.
Ah, I got it.
Seriously, that's what he said.
He's got a big, what is that, Keith? 36 inch?
36 inch.
Cool. And we took a lot of his grinder apart, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure how much we're actually going to do. I think later Richard is going to use his Kingway. It's a measuring device to talk about alignment and where it's at. But it was pretty awesome to see that get taken apart. Okay, approaching end of day 3, and I've actually got my parallel pretty darn flat on both sides, but I've got it out of parallel. So basically it's a ski slope with this end high going downhill this way. Now, the total amount is plus 1/10 here and minus 4/10 there. So there's a 0.5 of pitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what's called step scraping. So I'm going to scrape all the way to like here, and then I'm going to re-yellow it just to see where I've scraped, and scrape back, say, to here, and then do it again to here, and do it again to here. But basically I need to bring this amount down, by 0.5. Here's how we check it for parallelism. So both sides have been scraped and are pretty flat. Maybe some more work to do. Like, I'm not happy with my points per inch, but still pretty flat. So Intrepid tenths indicator, and you use a gauge block here so that you're not having the needle fall in the peaks and valleys of the scraping, and we'll preload it up to 0. So it's on 0 here. So that's 2/10. Oops, I'm supposed to be watching. 3/10, 4, god damn it, 4/10, and then it kind of settles off there. So let's see here. Pressure's increasing as it goes this way, so it's on a plane like this. That makes sense? Let's come off of it. So I come onto it and I add pressure to 0 or 1.
Your positive is going to be counterclockwise.
Yeah, so it's dropping as I go this way. So it's like this.
Yeah, you're a little higher on this.
I'm on higher on this side. Okay,
You're a little higher on that end there.
higher on that end. Welcome to day 4. I think I'm close. Let's take a look. So a half thou indicator, so not as precise as a tenths, but as we move along, we're checking for flatness now and parallelism. I'm thinking it's about 3 or 4 tenths, and that may be all I do. I'm running out of table here, but you can see from start to end, there's almost no discernible motion on this brown and sharp indicator. 0 at that end. And look at that. 0 at that end. Now, who's ready for the problem? The problem is that I think I've got a hump in it. A small hump, but it's a little bit of a hump. Now I got to deal with that. All right, folks, in the best way possible, I'm beat. It's middle of day 4. There's a day and a half left of class. Very happy to be feeling as good as I am after the accident. And I'm actually pretty happy with this. I've got pretty good points per inch. You can see the bluing of the scraping. And you see where my Sharpie is. I've got a little bit of a low spot here and a low spot there. When I mean low, I mean I'm making contact better with the areas here that have the blue in it. And I'm, like you just saw, pretty darn parallel. So for me, there was 2 things I wanted to get out of the class. I wanted to learn the basics of scraping and work on a part. I also just wanted to understand it in the head, and I hope you guys now understand more of that as well from watching this, because it's more of a, if I really need to do this in the future, where do I need to start and think and focus and practice on? I didn't have any disillusions about becoming an expert here in a few days, and I'm really proud of this thing. I've got 2 more of these, so I may try to do more with them after I get my grinder running, and I don't know if I'm going to end up buying one of these scrapers or not. They're pretty darn expensive, but so far been a great class. And again, you know, looking at Keith Rucker working on his lathe right now, taking parts off of that, I think that's what I'm hoping to get out of the rest of this day and a half, is trying to understand more about machine building and why, you know, how you do dovetail alignment. And we were talking about if you raise and lower planes, whether you shim them up or how do you think about it and how do they interface with the screws, because you start moving things around here like heights relative to headstocks and tailstocks, and all of a sudden your head explodes because it's so much more complicated than you might think. And that's what's really interesting, having experts around to do that. You enjoying the class, Keith?
Absolutely, man. I'm learning a pile.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is the kind of stuff right here that I've just always been scared to mess with, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
So it's like, okay, well, it is what it is. But, you know, we're actually about to come in here and start scraping.
Are you?
I'll slide on this, yes.
Awesome. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm really pumped about that.
I was just telling the folks in the video, I'm kind of like done with my project. I want to now watch this and like, what you.
Well, actually, if you want to, we got a part over there you can work on.
Yeah.
Because we're going to kind of split up the different parts.
Okay.
If you want to start working on some dovetails or whatever, we'll get you in on it, man.
Sweet. All right, folks, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Handscraping.com is Richard King's website. Take care. See you soon.